Hey guys, I hope you're having a beautiful day. My name is Kasim. Recently on my YouTube videos, I've been showing you guys how I completely changed my life, how I built my first business when I was 18 years old that made me 50k per month and lived the life of my dreams. And from there, I've had a lot of guys DM me on Instagram. And one thing that I decided to do in the last week was to let a few of those guys jump on a free call with me where I can just run them through everything that's holding them back and give them as much help as possible. And in this video, I want to show you guys a recording of one of the most powerful conversations I've ever had. It was with a 19-year-old guy with so much potential that had the mindset of being on the precipice of quitting, of just giving up in his whole entrepreneurial journey. He was saying things like he's just fed up with the fact that he's not really gotten anywhere, and telling me how hard things have been. To the end of the call, I could see this big smile on his face, so excited, and he also knew, I could see in his eyes that he had clarity in exactly what he needed to do. So I know that everyone that watches this, especially if you're a young guy, a young entrepreneur, that feels that same feeling of feeling lost and not really knowing what to do from now onwards, and kind of just feel like maybe going to university or maybe your parents are right, maybe you just shouldn't be an entrepreneur. If you feel like that, this video, what I go through in this video, will change your life. So I'm excited to see you go through it. I'll see you in there.
Sure thing. I literally finished college about 2 months ago, from like a couple of weeks ago, and I've been taking entrepreneurship quite seriously for the last 7, 8 months. I've always wanted to make money online. I'm currently working part time in my local supermarket, but I'm trying to do something through content creation or start my own business. I tried SMMA last year, but I was just like, I was way too immature. I just couldn't, and I had loads of other distractions going on.
Yeah.
I've never really been old enough and never really believed in myself enough to actually want to make something of myself. And it's only really the last 7, 8 months where I've actually started taking it very seriously. And then, like 2 months ago, after leaving college, having a lot more time on my hands to actually start trying to make something of myself.
Yeah. I'm glad, man. I'm proud of you, man. That's good. Glad you didn't give up as well. It's an important thing. Where a lot of guys give up. Even the first try is the only try most people have. So it's good that you stuck in, because I can see that you're confident in yourself now, compared to you must have been before.
Thank you.
When it comes to what you said you're focusing on, what you said you're putting more time into, what's that been so far?
At the minute, I'm focusing on content creation, trying to build up a personal brand around myself, but it's very, very slow journey. It's not taking like I thought it'd be a lot faster than what I had expected, but it does take quite a while, and I'm not really seeing the results kind of expected. But I'm kind of just trying to learn high income skills at the minute, personal branding and content creation and video editing, and all skills around kind of creating brands on social media. Because then I could kind of transfer that into, if I was to want to start my own brand, then I'd have an understanding of it. I've had ideas of creating like a community around my interests, like in health and fitness, but I'm still unsure of where to start. And I want to do coaching, but like I said, it's still very unsure of the process of where I want to go.
Well, I understand, man. What do you think is the main motivator for you? What is that main driver for you to actually want to make money and to change your life?
Set my parents financially free, and the freedom of time and financial freedom to be able to travel and go to Thailand, Bali, Dubai, like you've said in the past with the places that you've been to, kind of live that digital nomad lifestyle for a couple of years and see where that takes me.
Yeah, that's same as me, bro. It's the same as me. Yeah, man, it's good to hear. So, you watched a few of my YouTube videos, right? You watched
Yeah,
this.
yeah, I've watched most of them.
So obviously you're very similar to me, bro. You pretty much said the same stuff, doing the same stuff. It's actually crazy as well, because when I mean, I didn't really want to be a fitness coach, but I also was heavily I was pretty fat when I was like 17.
Yeah.
So I had a big fat loss journey. So I was like very into fitness back then. So very similar to the way you talk now as well. Um, so what have you looked into the obviously, because you saw obviously last year you started the SMMA. which I'm glad you didn't really stick into, because even though you, for your own personal reasons, whatever it may be, that you might have been unhappy you didn't stick to it, but I'm happy you didn't go full into SMMA, because if you did, it would have a lot of
Yeah,
motivation. Because this the whole concept of the way the business model is formed is just not meant for success. So
definitely.
did you have a watch of the videos where I covered the business model that I developed back then, the one that I run now? Yeah, well,
Yeah, I watched that yesterday.
how did that? Does it make sense to you? Any questions
Yeah,
about
it
that?
did. It did make sense to me. I can see like why you're doing it and how it's actually creating such a bigger impact than just like helping local businesses in the area. It actually helps like there's a lot more impact to it, and you're choosing the businesses that would actually hold a lot more like would actually be a lot more beneficial.
100%. But I mean, that's obviously one really important part. But the most important part of why I developed that business model for myself was pretty much what it was for me. And I'm sure you heard the story of what I went through yesterday. But when I moved to Dubai when I turned 18, I
Yeah,
realized that okay, like these guys who are multimillionaires, even billionaires, are not that much older than me. They're not really that special either. So I knew
yeah,
that I can open my mind up to realize that I can be a millionaire. Obviously, before that, I had no idea that I could be a millionaire. It was like maybe a dream in like 15 years time, but never like next 2 years ago, I think of doing that.
yeah,
So what I realized was that what I'm doing right now has to put me on that path to actually being a multimillionaire. I can't just be fucking around or doing things that might make me some money, but not actually get me to the point of being a multimillionaire. So
yeah, definitely.
that's why I shut down the SMMA, just quit, stopped watching everything to do with that. And what I then realized I had to do was the first thing I did was I first had to map out a long-term vision for myself. Like, what was actually my path business-wise to get to where I want to be, to make those millions. But that's just one part. But it's also to genuinely, like, how can I actually genuinely be of value to the world? Like, what businesses can I build in the future? What empire can I build? To then with the end goal, of course, the first one is to create generational wealth to obviously set yourself free, then your family free, then the rest of your family, but
Yeah, of
also
course.
to actually create impact in the world, to be of value, to give back, to be of service. That was what I realized was important to me too back then. So when I mapped that out for myself a little bit, obviously you might have seen that video that I posted a while back was like my plan to get to the billion mark. But I mean I didn't know all that back then, but what I did know was I wanted to build an ecom brand. That was like okay, I knew that if I wanted to be a multi-millionaire, that is a business model. That's not a business model, but that's like a business as an industry or a business that can for sure be a 7, 8, 9 figure business if I do it properly.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
properly, I can't really do it right now. At that point anyway, 2 years ago, or 2, 3 years ago. At that point, I didn't really have much money, and I also didn't really have any expertise or any knowledge, anything to do with ecom. So I didn't want to start drop shipping or doing Amazon FBA. I genuinely want to build like a massive brand that was worldwide, massive, 7, 8 figure, 9 figure brand. So obviously, when I had that vision in my mind, okay, that's the next step in my long term vision. That's the one I want to get to, but I'm not there yet. What I then had to do was that's why I developed the growth plan agency model. All it was for me, the reason I developed it, it was that I created a vehicle for me to get the two things I needed to have to actually then go on to building that next step in my long-term vision. Obviously, the first thing is the cash flow, right? So the cash flow for me back then, even though I was making 10K per month, I realized that 10K per month is actually nothing. It may sound like a bit much right now, but 10K per month is like when you're living in places like Dubai and living like that life, which is quite an average life, like
In
10K
the terms of business, that's not a lot of money.
well, it's not a lot of money. It's pretty much like what I was spending every month, 10K a month. So I realized that if I really wanted to build a big business, have a lot to invest in that business, and just in general live a really good life, 10K a month, 15K a month is not going to cut it. So I said to myself, okay, the minimum that I have to make with this new business that I'm going to build has to be at least 50K a month, like quickly as well, not just like in 1, 2 years. It has to be like in the same year, it has to be 50K a month. That was the first thing. So obviously with that, that means that I have to be able to one find obviously I chose the industry, but then find the type of companies that I want to work with, but also then find something that I can do for them where I can get paid enough money. So it's not just like the same as before where I was getting paid like 1K a month, $500 per month. It was like I had to be able to charge 5K to 10K per month at least, because that meant that hitting a number like 50K is not that hard. Only 5, 10 clients,
Yeah, yeah,
a
definitely.
month. So that was money wise, that's what I needed. Then the second thing, the reason I created it was the money thing is one thing. So that's why people just look at the money. That's what most entrepreneurs make. They make their mistake is that they just look for the money. and that's all it is, and that's all they care about when their first business or their agency, whatever it is when they just look for the money, they do anything that they see online they see people making money in. But what happens is when you just go for the money and you do some random ass service, like there's so many guys that I've seen go through the path of just starting some social media marketing agency for like roofers or like construct, I don't know, some random
Some
niche.
random, yeah.
And all it does for them, clinics or something, like, all it does for them is like they may make some money, and usually it doesn't ever go past 10K a month. But even if like it gets to 5, 10K a month, whatever it may be, they always end up realizing that it's just a waste of time because one, they hate what they're doing. Two, like the money is shit for what the amount of work they have to put in. And three, they realize that what they're actually doing doesn't actually amount to anything. They can't go anywhere with it. There's no long term. There's
There's
no
no
long
impact.
term.
Yeah.
That's the that's pretty much the whole the massive downside or the biggest reasons to why I quit SMMA and why I say to everybody else like don't bother getting into it, or if you are, just get into it as soon as you can, because the whole model was created with no like care for the long term, the long term vision, the long term benefits it has. All it was created to be was just a some sort of like money making method just to make some money on the side, right? So so obviously what I needed to have, the second thing aside from the money, was I need to actually develop the actual expertise, the knowledge, the wisdom, the experience, the understanding, and also the team as well, so that I can then understand the type of business that I want to build, which is e-commerce, the ecom brand. So where when I'm at the point where I have the money, I also have the understanding, the knowledge, and the team. So then it makes it very easy for me to go ahead and do that, which thankfully as well as right now. That's like 2 years ago, around a year and a half ago or so. I had that vision, and then now I'm actually in that position right now. I'm actually building my brand right now.
That's
And
sick.
if I built this brand or tried to build this brand back then, it wouldn't be anything. I wouldn't actually know what to do. I didn't actually know what the brand was going to be until maybe a couple months ago. So it's only because I spent obviously made a lot of money, so I had the money to be able to see where I could spend my money in terms of investing in the product wise. But also as well because I had the experience of growing my clients and actually understanding, because the clients that I chose to work with were the same type of brands that I knew that I wanted to start, and roughly anyway. So for me, I chose like kind of health, fitness, kind of wellness brands, and the reason for that, the reason I chose that niche was because I was the same as you. I was in a big fitness phase of my life, and I lost all my fat and was really into fitness, learned everything about it. So that's why I chose. Okay, if I right now, my thing that I enjoy the most is being healthy, being fit, losing all my fat. So the product that I would like to start to have the most, something that I help people with, something to do with health or wellness or fitness, that productivity, whatever it could be. So, so the type of companies that I've always worked with my growth partner agency ever since the start have always been the same kind of company that I would want to build in the future, which is obviously now. So that's why, because I've been working with those type of companies, I understand everything about that niche. I know exactly how to grow a company in that niche. So where now I have a plan for my brand, which is like never been done before, seen before, which I'm really excited about. So and
Yeah.
I like in the first year or so after I launch it in the next few months, it's going to be a seven, 8 figure brand. Maybe 7 figure first and then 8 figure in a couple of years. So yeah, that's an important thing I want you to realize is that I see the potential in you. You're very similar to the same way I was in terms of the way you're thinking. You're very focused on the most important aspect of your journey in general, which is you and your personal development. So what I want you to do first is to think about what that long-term vision is for you. What do you really want to do long term? Obviously, you said as well that you want to help people.
Yeah.
You want to give back and teach people, build a community maybe in the future, build products, whatever it could be, help people out with their fitness, with their self development, which is good. The same as me. I also had that idea in mind too. But you also have to remember that there's more than just don't limit yourself to just being a coach, right? That's being a coach is one thing. You can help people on the side. Same way I do. I'm not a coach, but I help people on the side. That's something
Yeah. Yeah.
for years. I help people. I have made a fair bit of money from it, but I'm not a coach, and I don't narrow myself down to that. So I don't want you to either because I see the potential in you. I don't think you should do that. But you can still do that. So you can do that through your personal brand. But you need to think now, okay, if I want to be a leader in the world, then I need to build an empire of companies that genuinely that I don't just do for the sake of it, that I genuinely love. I'm being of value to the world. I'm building something really cool. I'm in some of the biggest industries in the world. I want to build these companies because I know that they'll make me multiple millions, and also I'll be able to genuinely build something of value to the world, not just have an SMMA that's just working with solar roofing, some shit like that. I don't know, some other random
Yeah.
niche.
Definitely.
So yeah, what do you feel like? I'm not sure. You probably had a thought already. What do you feel like aside from the coaching, which is important? We'll talk about that. But aside from the coaching, what do you feel like is that industry that you may want to enter in the future that you think is really cool to you?
Yeah, would be like health and wellness, health and like fitness, somewhere in that industry because I've it's really weird that you say about like building empires. I've always, even since like a really small child, I've always had like thoughts of owning like massive businesses and like having loads of like businesses that are making a big impact. I said to my mum, like, I don't even know when it was. It was pretty like when I was like 12 or 13, that when my business is doing really well, I'll buy her an Aston Martin, and that's like always like stuck with me. And it's been like I've always had that thought of owning like big businesses, but it's just like I don't know whether it's because I'm new to the game or I just lack of understanding. But yeah, I definitely think that what you said is very true. That I need to like think big and work out an area or an industry that would like be aligned with me and use like a vehicle to help me get there, because like an SMMA business probably isn't just like it's just a way of making money online, and it's just the first thing that every new entrepreneur sees when they're getting into the entrepreneurial game. It's just like SMMA, dropshipping. It's all the common things. But yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying.
I'm glad, bro. So, I mean, this is why I created the growth partner agency model. For me was just that. All it was for me was that I knew, okay, I wanted to enter one of the world's biggest industries and really build like a seven, eight figure, nine figure company in that industry. Like not just some small, like just to make me some money, but genuinely build a massive company in this industry. The
Yeah,
only way I can do it is to get those two things, get the cash myself, because I don't want any investors. And the second
yeah,
thing, actually be the person, be the entrepreneur that actually knows what he's doing, not just like has to get help in every single aspect, but actually knows what he's doing.
100%. That's what I'd be like.
A business, he can actually, I can actually do it and smash it straight away, not just like do it and have no idea what I'm doing and figure it out when I'm there. Because if you do that, you'll be up against. You take that time and build a business that actually gives you the money, then gives you the expertise, and the actual hands-on expertise. Then when you go and start that big, massive business, then you'll be able to be at a point where you set yourself apart from everybody else. So when you come
100%.
into the game, you can do things that nobody else can do, which is just the position I'm in right now. So, but I think for you, starting a growth planner agency, I think you knew in the exact same position that I was
Yeah,
when a couple of years ago, a few years ago. So I think for you, the best move for you, obviously, I think you already have that long term vision, not maybe not like to the T to the exact companies you want to build, but I think you know very similar to me, you want to help people, you want to build companies that are of value. So I think I'll tell you kind of with a growth planner agency, there's three industries that I would recommend you build it in. Okay, so
yeah,
the first one is e-commerce that I chose. So that's just working, and obviously then from there you can choose whatever type of e-commerce brands you want to work with. It's up to you. So for me, I chose health and wellness brands, and that obviously looks like supplement brands, fitness brands, different things like that, just whatever brands that are to do with health and wellness. And then also as well, the second industry is info products and e-learning. So that pretty much means working with coaches, people, info products, not people, but more like companies that sell products online. Could be offers, could be coaching, could be whatever. Because if they sell digital products, could be either through a person, so a personal brand, so a coach, or could it
yeah,
be through whatever it may be. It's the second industry is pretty much when you build a growth planner agency in that industry, it's scaling an info product or an offer, all online. So that's why I say that two, you should choose between either two of them. The third one is also the SaaS and app, but I'd probably not choose that one. I choose either one of the twos because that one probably fits you more.
yeah.
But yeah, either one of those are work really well. Both of them will be very good. Maybe even because you enjoy personal branding more, I could maybe even say personal going for the second industry could be a better route for you right now. If you already enjoy personal branding, editing, and all kind of stuff, you already have those skills you built up, then it's a perfect fit, to be honest. Because that's what pretty much what you do. So if for you, when it comes to what you provide as a growth planner agency, so I'll break it down for you, right? So let's say you're going to start growth planner agencies
Yeah,
in this industry. How that looks, right? How that looks is pretty much you choose the type of offers or coaches or people you want to work with. So, for example, for you, it could be people in the health space, self development space, wherever it could be.
yeah,
You do as a pretty much don't think of it as a service. What you do now for these companies is you help them grow. You partner with them to long term to help them grow through the method of growth that you've chosen. Okay, so the method of growth that you've chosen means pretty much. I'm going to tell you one that's probably going to be the one that you already know, but it's the best one, which is pretty much overall a short overview is to build an audience, an organic audience through platform content, so Instagram, TikTok, whatever,
Yeah.
YouTube, and also long form content, so YouTube as well. And then when you build that audience, then you convert that audience to different monetization strategies, different ways depending on what the offer is. Normally through Instagram, or it could be different ways, it could be webinars, whatever else it could be. Um, and it's very much that's what it is. So very much so what you would do for these companies is you would help them grow. And first, what you would do for them is help them build their audiences. Sorry, help them build their audience through short form content, long form content, and
Yeah.
then it's helping them monetize that audience and convert that audience into customers to whatever offer they have. So yeah, that's pretty much like a very short overview, of course, but that's pretty much what we would.
That's literally what I was going to do with my personal brand.
Actually, but that's what it is. It's perfect for you, I think, because if you already, I mean, I've seen your content as well. I look at it, so you're already doing it. You already feel passionate about it, so it's a perfect fit for
Yeah,
you. I think
definitely.
personality, I think, as well. Like if you are the one doing it yourself, then it's very easy just for that passion to come through when you're on call with somebody else and saying to them that I can help you do it as well. So and what as well, it's an important thing to remember. One of the reasons to why I built a growth planner agency and I developed it for myself rather than just sticking to the SMMA way was that I wanted to work with like the highest quality of clients. I didn't just want to work with people that were just starting out. I
Yeah,
wanted
definitely.
coaches, or not often it was for me coaches, but I wanted to work with companies that were already established, already making good money, but they just weren't utilizing the method of growth that I chose properly.
Yeah.
So they're actively looking for the method of growth that I've chosen to provide. So that I'm going through something else. Maybe, for example, let's say for me, it's an for ecom brands.
Yeah.
They maybe already made loads of money in retail, like they're in stores. Maybe they've made money through like Amazon, whatever else, but they haven't yet properly used TikTok and the stuff that I do for brands, right? Same for
Yeah,
you.
definitely.
Maybe a coach has already made loads of money through just ads and through whatever else, but they haven't properly built up an audience for themselves and converted that audience organically. So they've always had to be getting the customers to ads and through paid ads, but they haven't actually been able to build up an audience for themselves. So that's where you come in. So this is what I can do for you. That makes sense.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
as well, so the way that it works is you don't just provide services like all we do is content editing, all we do is this and that. What you do is the reason I call it a growth planner agency is that the word growth is very much a symbol of what you do. It's the word symbolizes what you do for your ideal clients, the people you want to work with. So when I say growth, what that means is that you implement something called your growth system. So your growth system is essentially like your process, like your roadmap to take your ideal client from where they are to where they want to be
Yeah.
through the method you've chosen. For example, it's taking your client from where they are to where they want to be through building an audience, through short form content, long form content, and then through making actually generating sales, through monetizing the audience through different whatever ways. There's loads of ways to do it, but different ways. So that's essentially what you would do what I did is you build your growth system very much. You build your growth system to, for example, let's say there's like overall three phases. Like phase one is setting everything up, getting everything launched, creating the content, for example.
Yeah.
Phase two is testing the content, optimizing the content, seeing what works, and maybe also then launching the monetization strategies. And phase three is scaling up the content and then scaling up whatever works, and then building a team, whatever it could be. So that's like obviously very rough. We'll go through in a bit more detail, but that's a rough overview of what you do. And the goal is to always charge at least 5K per month for a proper growth partnership. That's the minimum, because obviously for me, you may think like, how can I do that with no experience, no past clients? But that was the same for me. My first ever client for my growth partner agency. Obviously, keep in mind before this, even though I had an SMMA, I had no idea what anything to do with e-com or anything to do with something that I was actually providing. And my first ever client was 5K per month. I still have the recording of that sales call.
Wow.
It wasn't even a case of like me trying to sell them on anything. I just pretty much on the call, I educated them. Obviously, I took the time as well. This is a very important point phase of being a growth partner agency owner compared to being like an SMMA owner or anybody else. Is that you
Provide value.
take the time like 2 to 4 weeks to genuinely become an expert
Yeah.
and be in that. People make the mistake of thinking that you need to have past clients, you need to have past experience to have that expertise, but it's not true. You can do research for like 2 to 4 weeks in the right way, of course. Few platforms like Twitter is probably the best place to have the right information.
Yeah.
YouTube as well sometimes. When you learn the right stuff, then you get the confidence to actually know what you're talking about. For example, when you jump on call with a perfect client for you, And when that passion comes through, where you're genuinely able to educate them and help them on that call, that's when you do the process right and you walk them through what I call the growth partnership proposal doc, which is a proposal doc built in a certain way to make it a no-brainer. Your 5K return to make it a no-brainer.
Yeah.
When you do that document on call with them, they're the ones always asking you, how can we move forward? How can we get started? So the experience for me was when I first started my growth partner agency, it was maybe like 4 or 5 weeks of outreach. And again, even for outreach, I wasn't even doing it myself. I had a VA doing it all for me from day one.
Yeah.
So from that happening, like 4 or 5 weeks, on the fifth week, I remember on a Sunday, I had 5 calls booked for the next week. That week, I closed all five. I closed all five of those clients. And obviously, the first client was 5K, and then the rest of them, like another one was 5K, another one was like 6K, another one was 6.5K. So I was at around 25K just in that 1 week.
That's sick.
And then from there, obviously, like a few months later, a few months onwards, after 6 months or after 5.5 months, let's say 6 months, I was
Yeah.
already 50K. I was like 50 something, 50, 70 or something like that. So, and it's not just been me as well. Like I told you as well. Like obviously I've mentored a few guys that have come to me in the last couple of years, and there's two examples that are obviously similar to you. One guy, 19-year-old guy from Qatar. So he started an agency in an e-com, obviously no experience in the past because he's 19. He started, we built this growth partner agency together. It was an e-com. And after 3 weeks of outreach, it was, yeah, on the third week, he got his first call booked in. And this call was like a massive, massive brand, like a brand that sponsors the UFC. And on that call, obviously he took that time to actually genuinely learn what he was going to provide
Yeah.
for 2-ish weeks. And then when he was on that call, I watched the call recording, and because he was so passionate about what he was talking about, he was actually helping them. They said straight away when he said 5K, they straight away said, "Yeah, that sounds good," and they paid straight away. So he said he got his first 5K. His first client was 5K per month and 20% rev share of the money that he made with them.
Oh
And
wow.
another one, good example too. This is like a good example for you as well. This young guy called Owen from the US. He just moved to Bali actually, so he just turned 21. And obviously we've been building his growth partner agency together, but he'd been saving up money with his job. He quit his job, and obviously because he's seen me in Bali for last year, I told him like he just said I want to move out and go all in with my agency. I don't like have any like backdoor to not do well with my agency. So I said move to Bali. I just said you should move to Bali. So he moved to Bali like maybe 2 weeks ago. So we launched his agency like outreach wise. We launched his outreach maybe like 3 to 4 days before he went to Bali, where he had his flight booked. And while he was on his flight, and again for him it was all automated as well, so his VA was doing it all for him.
Yeah.
When he was on the flight, he got a call booked in with a $1 million per month brand, like a massive, massive supplement brand. It's like, also again in supplement space, massive, massive brand. And he on the first call was able to close, and also as well to post on my story too. He just closed another client as well for like a consulting deal, which is at 1.5K too. So he's already almost at 10K in the first week.
What the hell?
So yeah, that's just like another two examples as well that are good for you to be inspired by, that are very close to your age, very
Yeah,
close.
definitely.
So yeah, bro, what's any questions so far? Any thoughts?
Um, no, I think I have a good understanding of it. I definitely think it would be good for me to just get my teeth into it and start doing it, even if like I'll obviously have like I've got loads of limiting beliefs, but I'm just going to keep on like working at it, and no matter it, like if I just keep on plodding at it, it should eventually work. And learning about short form content and TikTok and for the next month or so, and maybe even document my process of like building my growth partner agency on my Instagram would be a good idea, because then I might even start attracting like brands to, like if I preach the message enough, I might even get brands reaching out to me as warm leads. You never know. And
What, what,
it,
what you said there, what do you feel like those limiting beliefs are for you? It could be business wise or what do you feel like the biggest ones are holding you back? What do you feel like they are?
I journaled about it. I said I'm always just comparing myself on social media to people with more followers than me, with making more money than me, like in a different position than like in better positions than me. I'm always like thinking about the worst of things. Like I think like right now, I think like it probably won't work out. Instead of having like a really positive mindset, thinking, yeah, this is like a really good opportunity. Like trying to like, there's always a reason why I wouldn't do something rather than a reason to do something, if that makes sense.
Why do you feel like that you have those thoughts? Why do you feel like you are like that?
Probably from school, I reckon, or when I was like in like secondary school, I was a bit of a troublemaker, always getting treated a bit differently by people or like by teachers, and they always used to like, don't know, treat me a bit different to every other kid because I was just like never really got the kind of, not attention, but like just that kind of help that I probably needed. So I just kind of just was like a little bit of a rebel.
Understand, bro. I mean, I'm glad you realized it, bro. Because I'll tell you, I'll tell you about some beliefs and stuff like that. What I realized. So you might know already, but pretty much anything negative in your life, but especially things that hold you back, things like limiting beliefs, things like fears, they all mostly all come up and they all get triggered. They all like come into your life from what people call a trauma in your past. Pretty much what that trauma is like an unresolved issue that was placed in you as a younger child. Could
Yeah,
even go back to like when you were very young, or even sometimes from your parents pass it on to you. But especially through your childhood of growing up in school, through what you were told by your teachers, your parents, your friends, whatever it could be, that usually has a big part to play in your adult life. And the majority of people in the world, they never actually solve those issues. They always have them playing out through their lives. And that is why you see people, uh, people have the wrong perspective on just how humans work, where they just say that's just how people are. If, for example, if they're negative, if they're scared, if they're anxious, you say that's normal. That's how people are. That's not how
yeah,
people actually are.
no,
How people actually are meant to be is only positive. Negativity, because there's a quote as well that I'll talk to you about. There's a quote which is very, very true, which is we as humans, we suffer like 99.9% in imagination and 1% in reality. So everything that we perceive as negative, that we think is negative in our lives, anything that we're scared about, anything that we doubt, anything that we're fear, any limiting beliefs that we have, what you have to come to the realization of, where everything negative in your life, especially fears and limiting beliefs and doubts, as a high achieving man, is you have to realize that everything negative it actually doesn't exist in reality. It only exists in your head. That makes
yeah,
sense. Any fear that you have, any limiting belief that you have, any doubt that you have, you are creating it to be real. That makes sense.
yeah,
So, for example, there's loads of examples, but especially in your case, when you're scared about it not working out, nobody knows if it's going to work out or not. But you being scared by it is the only reason that it's not going to happen. That makes sense.
yeah,
So
definitely.
fear doesn't actually exist in objective reality. In reality, it doesn't actually exist. But the more that you think it, the more that you say it. Your subconscious mind or your brain doesn't know the difference between what you think and what you say and what is real. So
Yeah,
what you say, obviously, which is not all your fault. Sometimes it is just like from your childhood and stuff like that. From people telling you you're not good enough, people telling you that you're wrong, that you're different, that you're not the same as everybody else, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff, it makes you feel like this is what is real. So maybe I am not good enough. Maybe I am not, whatever. Maybe not worthy of having success. And
yeah,
because you have these things ingrained in you and you've thought them for so many years and you've said them as well, maybe, and you think this is just my problem now and I don't know how to solve it. The more you say that kind of stuff, the more you're creating it to be real. So what the where I changed my life with everything, but especially my mindset with this stuff, is when I really felt as well. It's also there's one thing realizing it, but it's also really feeling it. It's also like feeling like a weight off your shoulders, like you're just letting go of all the shit that you've held on to. It's when you realize that, and I mean this with literally every single fear or limiting belief that you will ever have, or have right now, but ever will have in the future. None of them actually exist. They only exist in your head. Makes
yeah,
sense? So what the way to get to that point, obviously it's hard to just like think that right now, but the way to get to that point with every limiting belief that you have is you need to obviously you've started journaling, but journal through every single limiting belief that you have, and you need to do a couple of things. The first thing is you need to keep asking yourself why am I scared? What am I really scared about? So the end goal for more not the end goal, but the end kind of like place that you end up with most fears is you're scared of dying. Not always, but for some things like, for example, I'm scared of not being successful. Why? Because you're scared of, not having the life you want. Why? Because you're scared of dying and not being happy. That's what you're really scared about, right? So when you're not scared of dying anymore, when you become comfortable with it, that's the second thing you need to do. You first ask yourself why, keep asking yourself why, keep diving deeper, keep asking yourself why multiple times. Then when yourself at like the I guess the end situation, which is obviously most of the time death or some version of being unhappy when dying, then you try to imagine yourself in that situation. And when you become comfortable with the idea of dying, and think it's not and realize it's not a bad thing anymore, like really not it's not that not that bad of a thing, then when you remove that fear, most other fears you'll be able to when you felt that pain, because it won't like what won't just come straight away. Like you'll be able to what's really actually there's a process for actually, but it's hard to do it by yourself. But it's a process called the Dickens process, essentially. It's called the Dickens process.
Hmm.
Pretty much what it is like it's like a process where you pretty much feel the pain. Like you try and make yourself feel the pain that you would feel through imagining it so much and visualizing it so much that you would feel with your biggest fears. Like you try to imagine what it would be like. For example, let's say one of the examples is like what are your limiting beliefs? You let's say you have a fear, the limiting beliefs that you're not going to make, I don't know, whatever it is, like you're scared if you're going to make it or not. So that fear is stopping you from actually doing the work. Let's say you kept up that fear for 15, 20 years. Maybe like let's keep going to like your deathbed. Let's say you kept up this fear, you let this fear control the way you act, and on your deathbed, you think, oh, like this is the reason I didn't actually do anything I wanted to do is because I had this fear. Imagine the pain you would feel and how unhappy you would feel in that situation on your deathbed. Would you realize I did actually nothing I wanted to do in life because I let this fear control my actions? Imagine the pain you would feel then.
Yeah,
You really try to visualize it, like it's almost like a meditation, a breath work. When you visualize it, when you really feel it, and you stay in that feeling of pain, like as much self-induced pain as you can possibly feel in your head, and then you realize that that's it. You felt the pain that you would feel there, and it's like you felt it now. You can let go of it. So this fear that you've had, this fear that you have, if you keep it up, you know that what you've just felt there is a fraction of what you'd actually feel if you genuinely were in that situation.
yeah,
So
definitely.
what's the point of keeping it up? When you come to that realization, we just realize what's the point of keeping up this fear if this is the way I'm going to feel? So because surely the pain of actually doing the work is nowhere near as the pain of what I'll feel in fucking 90, 60 years when I'm about to die. And I've realized that I didn't do anything because I kept this fear up. So it's just that's what it's really about. Letting go of fears is really about feeling what it would feel like at the end situation if you kept these fears up and realizing that level of pain is nowhere near the level of pain of actually just doing the work and seeing how it goes and just taking it day by day and staying present. That's also a big problem that people had that I had for a long time as well, is that you constantly live your life in the future or in the past. So you constantly keep thinking about the past, what things you haven't done or things you have done in the past that you don't want to do again, that you're unhappy that you did. You judge yourself, you regret things, whatever it could be. For example, you could regret or be annoyed at yourself or judge yourself for wasting last year and not being really mature, whatever it could be. You need to let go of that. The same in the future. You need to let go and stop living in the future about what will happen, what if, what if, what all this kind of different bullshit you can make up in your head about, what if this happens and what do I do in the future? The more you live your life in the past or the future, the more you're never going to live in the present, and you need to live in the present to actually take action. That's where the shit happens. The present is only where shit happens. You create the future in the present. You don't create the present in the future. In a sense, that doesn't that's not how it works.
Yeah,
That's and obviously I'm saying this now, but pretty much what you have to do every single day, now that you're conscious of it, now that you've realized it from me saying it, and you probably realized it yourself as well. The game every day is being now that you're conscious of it now and so aware of it, you need to catch yourself every single time you catch yourself feeling like this or thinking like this. So for example, let's say like one problem that a lot of people have that I've been told about the last few people is people say to me, I ask them, what's their biggest problem? Why are they not getting the work done? And they say to me, oh, like every time I sit down to work, I just procrastinate so much. And like, I think I have ADHD. I just like I lose my focus and go onto my phone and start scrolling. And people love to like, add on labels like ADHD and whatever else that they think they have. But all that's happening is that when you sit down to work and you start like doing whatever work you're doing, actually obviously with the end goal of making money at some point,
yeah,
when you do that, you pile on so much thoughts. Could be overthinking, should be stressing. Usually, it's about fear, about or judgment about why this hasn't worked yet, or what if it doesn't work? Any sort of thought like that. You're in your head subconsciously. You're piling on so many thoughts as you're doing that work. So where as soon as it gets uncomfortable and those thoughts start to take control, the first thing your brain wants is What people,
Comfort.
yeah, exactly, comfort. So what you want is your emotional home, which for everybody is comfort. So that's what most people, the most average person, what they want is their emotional home. What they brain desires whenever they feel uncomfortable is just comfort. And usually comfort for people is just dopamine, just their phone or videos or so
Yeah.
fuck us. So that's why people can't focus. It's not anything to do with ADHD. It's just because when they're sitting down to work, they pile on so many thoughts and they have no control over their thoughts in their mind, to where as soon as they do a task, they instantly want that emotional home because they feel too scared now. And they don't know that they are, but they just are subconsciously. They feel too scared, so they feel that level of comfort, and that phone or whatever it is gives them that level of comfort that they want, and they get that dopamine again, and they feel good again, and then they keep doing it over and over again, and that never actually get any work done. That's one like example that pretty much everyone goes through. I went through it for like half a year, man. I wasted like half a year of my life doing that shit. So yeah, that's the important thing to realize now with limiting beliefs. So the way you actually get there with every limiting belief you have is now that you're conscious of it, be aware of it every single day, and now catch yourself every single time you realize yourself doing something that you don't want to do. Literally anything negative whatsoever, any bad habit, any bad thought pattern, any bad anything that you don't want to, that isn't who you know you want to be.
Yeah.
The reason you're doing it is because you're being triggered to do it, and something is triggering you, and that something is usually either a trauma from the past or some sort of fear that you have that isn't actually true. And obviously, the traumas are true, but you have to, with traumas, all of them all of them are healable. All of them, you just have to come to the realization with the traumas that through journaling as well. You journal about them, you write about them, you dive deep into what's really there in terms of like what you really feel about this trauma. It could be like you've never, for me, the biggest one, where I think it's important, it's going to be important for you to have this this realization as well, because I think every young guy has this from childhood, is that they never think that they're good enough. They've been from their parent, maybe not even their parents' fault, but from their parents or from their school, wherever it is. They think that they're not good enough for what they want, just subconsciously. And even some people who are like very, very confident and very, very arrogant, very, that is even a sign that they very much think that they're not good enough because they try to cover it up. They try to shield it, to shield this trauma by adopting this arrogant and confident, personality. So even if you think that you think you are good enough, sometimes you actually still have that trauma. And the biggest way you get over that trauma and you solve that for yourself, you heal that for yourself, is you learn there's a concept where you learn to love yourself. You learn to actually love who you are right now. So there's a problem that I had, which was the reason that I procrastinated for so long, that I never knew was the reason, which was I pretty much only had love, or I only liked the version of myself that I could be when I had money or when I had the successful business or whatever it could be. And I never had love for who I was right now. So what that meant was that I subconsciously never thought that I was good enough to act like the person that I wanted to be, which obviously then meant that I could never build the business and I could never act in that way where I could genuinely sit down every day and build that person. And that was the reason as to why I procrastinated so much. And I always thought it was some bullshit to do with my performance habits or my routines or whatever. But it was none of that. It was all just to do with the fact that I never loved myself right now enough. Never actually told myself I love myself and like gave myself the appreciation in different ways I'll tell you about. Um, but I never did that, and that's what was the reason as to why I never actually got anything done and did build a business or had success or anything like that. So and there's a book as well that I'm going to tell you to read, that I'm going to listen to or read that
That could be why.
problem. So yeah, but that is usually for me that was the life changer for me when I went through that journey and realized that loving myself was the first answer to me healing the main thing that was holding me back in life, which was the reason as to why I didn't do anything I wanted to do. And whenever I wanted to do it, I just got scared, like subconsciously, and stopped doing it and procrastinated, and then called myself a procrastinator or called myself whatever else. But that wasn't the truth. The truth was that I just never loved myself enough. I never like actually told myself that. I never like realized that I was enough to get what I want, and I am, I'm worthy, I guess, of what I actually wanted.
Yeah.
Basically, like you're free right now, but I'll make you realize it. So yeah, how does that sound? Any questions so far? Does that make sense?
No, it's all making a lot of sense and it's very helpful, definitely.
Yeah, bro, I'm glad.
I've got like loads of notes on it.
I'm good. I mean, I've got the recording anyway. I'll send you the recording after the call, so you can go through it anyway.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, that's definitely this what I talked about so far, especially what I just talked about the mindset stuff. This is the key for me. This was the real thing that set everything underway. Like it set everything up. Before I realized all this stuff, I was a mess. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I procrastinated for months. Even when I did do work, it was pointless work, and I really felt unhappy with my whole life. Even though I was, even at this point, I was still making some money. So it doesn't. Don't even think that money will solve your problems because it won't. Like you have to solve these problems before you make money. And if you do solve these problems before you make money, you'll make a lot more money, and you'll do it right. You won't just waste it. You'll make much bigger money as well than just like the small amount of money you probably would if you try to take action in this state where you haven't yet solved this yet or killed it yet.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, any let me know what you think, bro. Let me know what's coming up. What you thought about.
Um, yeah, you were saying about living in the present, and you can't take action until you actually start living in the present. And I'm always I get in my head so much about like what happens if I didn't do this, what happens if I did do this, like always thinking about the consequences and what other people will think, like judgment, fear of judgment a lot. But yeah, I definitely think that's something that I'm need to work on, and something that something that like I could practice a lot more. And you're saying journal through, like you ask yourself why, and you ask yourself why again, and it tends to be because of death. My dad died, like, or passed away when I was 2 years old, so I reckon like death scares me a lot because like I know what happened to my dad, so it's like it's like that could be a reason why. And what else? I had other thoughts as well. That quote that you said about like 99% of fear is like in your head, and the rest, like 0.01% is actually like reality. It's like definitely very good perspective to have on things. It's everything is just like you're your own worst enemy. I definitely think I am myself. Like I hold myself back so much to the point where I just don't get any work done. I procrastinate, and then I don't perform to the level that I know I am actually capable of.
Okay, man, I'm glad you realizing it, bro. Because this is it. This is the secret, I guess, like of how to control the way you are, how to actually like have control over the way you are. And people like, especially like in the entrepreneurship space, people love to just like say that, oh yeah, I've just been in a rut. That's that, like from now on, a rut should not exist. Not because you won't feel like that, but because you will know why it's happening. And like
Yeah,
people be in a rut for so long because they don't know why it's happening, and they just become a victim to it. But when you know why you're in a rut, you know what thoughts you're having, you know why you're having those thoughts, and you're able to control them. There's a bit more as well that I just show you as well about this stuff, but that is the foundation anyway. Um, when you understand why you are the way you are, then you're able to control it. And people live their whole life having no idea how to control the way they are. That's why people in the world are. That's why the majority of people are like just unhappy with their lives, just employees, because they don't actually understand how to control the way they are.
yeah,
And everything that they think of doing, they're so instilled with the mental model and mindset that it's just not. They just can't do it. There's something like, for example, with success, like having a business, being a multimillionaire. It's like, oh yeah, that guy can do it, but I can't. It's not meant for me. It's not meant for
yeah,
you.
definitely.
That's just the way it is. But that's not the way it is. That's just the way you think it is. That's
Yeah,
just position to do. And even stuff when it comes to like anger or being unhappy or reacting badly. I don't actually mean anything negative whatsoever. Not even just what we talked about in terms of fears, but anything negative whatsoever. Anger, like feeling negative, feeling something remotely negative, it shouldn't actually exist in your life. You can get to a point in your life where it's not about never feeling the negativity, it's about never so there's a thing as well, I'm not sure it's a quote, but there's a quote kind of thing that says it's not that we can never it's not like you'll never feel the or react badly, I guess, to whatever it is that happens in your life. Your body or your mind will react badly, but what you can be in control over as a human is how long you stay in the reaction. That makes sense.
yeah,
So
yeah,
let's say that in the business wise, let's say for example, you do feel a bit you like when you're sitting down to work, you do overthink, you do kind of stress out. right now, what may happen is that when that happens, when you stress out, you let that take control and you let that ruin everything, and you go back on the phone and you let that can destroy the whole day pretty much. But when you're so conscious of it, and you've healed a lot of the stuff that's causing that, then it will come up again, because obviously you've been that way for so many years. But like, it's going to come up. It's going to be a while till it goes away completely. So it's going to come up again. But what you will have control over is how long you stay in that reaction. That's what you can let it, like, for me now, there's so many things, not even just to do with work, but even like with friends or relationships, or like I haven't felt angry. I'm not even a chance shit. I've not felt angry in over a year and a half, 2 years. I've not felt anger towards somebody. It doesn't make sense to me anymore. I was like, what
That's
is the point
sick.
of angry? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. No matter what somebody says or does, I cannot feel anger. And I may feel it, but when I say that, I may feel it for like a slight millisecond, but I turn it
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
And it's not like I'm pushing it down. It's like I'm saying, I'm realizing to myself, I'm saying to myself, this is pointless. There's no point in feeling angry. This doesn't benefit anybody. So that's the point that you need to get to if you really want to be the man you want to be. If you really want to be a leader in the world, like, that's how you have to act. Because if you let emotions take control of you, and you let your mind take control of you, you can't truly be a man, the man you want to be. You'll always just be like a half the man you want to be, and not be able to actually genuinely think and act and react under any situation, under any circumstance, and never let anything come in the way of what you actually want and what you know is what is the best for you. That makes sense?
very stoic.
So yeah, exactly, man. That's it.
I put money on such a pedestal that it puts so much pressure on myself to like make it, because then I'm not really making that much from my part-time job at the minute, and I'm kind of trying to like make a sacrifice of like not working as much at my part-time job so I can spend more time doing my own thing. But then at the same time, when I come home and do my own thing, it's like all that pressure, and it just leads me to like procrastinate and like just waste time. So I'm just like, I've been in this situation for literally like the last couple of weeks where it's just like I just don't know where to go with it. I'm just trying to take any opportunity at the minute to like just get in calls with people and kind of like get some views of people that are further ahead in the journey, because I'm really considering going university in September, just because like I haven't actually seen any results for myself in like since actually doing it, and it's like I'm still haven't actually made any money online, and it's like I don't know, I just think it's like really getting to me a little bit.
I'm honest. So the first thing, I mean, it's not, I mean, it might not be nice to hear, but if you really want to be successful, you need to stop thinking like a victim.
Yeah,
You need to let go of the, it's hard to, but you need to like just let go of any victim thoughts, anything like, this is not going the way I want it to be. I don't know what to do. You do know what to do. You know exactly what you need to do. You're just not letting yourself realize it. Yes, it's a really important thing to remember, that you always know the answer. The answer is always inside of you, but you will, when you let the victim side of you, which isn't who you truly are, but it's the side of you, it's the state. There's also a concept as well that's really important to think about and realize, is that everyone in the world lives in either one of two states. It's either a suffering state, which a majority of the world lives in, or it's a beautiful state. A suffering state is when you feel all the negativity, when you feel all the roadblocks, when you feel like you're a victim, everything's going wrong, everything can't go right. That's when you're in a suffering state. Um, when you try to take action in that suffering state, nothing will ever really work. You'll always find a reason for things to fall apart and not to go the way you want to be, and then you'll just end up like being okay with whatever somebody else is telling you to do. That's what happens. So being like a victim.
yeah,
So you need to, obviously not easy to right now, but you need to really try to every single day. As soon as you realize yourself, you to catch yourself whenever you're thinking like a victim, whenever you're having victim thoughts or victim, you're taking action like a victim in terms of like you're just feeling sorry for yourself. If you really want to become who you want to become, this the quicker you do this, I'm telling you, bro, like the quicker you will become a real man. And you become a
yeah,
real man, the quicker you'll find success, because you'll figure it out. So from now on, don't ever say to yourself again like any of the things you just told me in terms of like feeling sorry for yourself, feeling annoyed at yourself. There's no point of it anymore. It's not going to serve you. It's not going to help you. So don't let it take control of you. So anytime you feel yourself catching yourself saying any of this stuff again to yourself, feeling sorry for yourself, feeling down about it, feeling annoyed about it. Let's take it like long term, as bro. Like, aside from, obviously it's hard to think of this right now and have this perspective right now, but if you look at it big picture wise, you are, how old are you?
19.
Oh, yeah, okay. You're 19, yeah? You are already worrying about this stuff at the age of 19 when guys when they're in their 30s are they're a shambles. They don't even know what to do with their lives.
Yeah.
The fact that you're even thinking about this right now, you should be extremely proud of yourself because that's the truth. It's not even about like me trying to help you up. It's literally the truth. The fact that you are even having this remote perspective when everybody else who's 19, even up to the age of like 35, has zero idea about any of this perspective in terms of trying to do what they want to do in life and give back to their parents and do all this shit or about developing themselves as a man. The fact that you ever think about this stuff is enough right now. It's not obviously what you want, where you want to be, but it's enough for you to be proud of yourself. More than enough. That makes sense. So
Yeah.
because more than enough, there is no need for you to feel negativity. You are making yourself feel negative for no reason. Yes, you may be in some debt. I'm sure it's not that much. One, two, 3K, whatever it may be. Even if it's like 10K, it's not that much. You'll figure a way to get out of it. So no matter how much money you're in debt with, or how much you maybe have like messed up in the last couple of years with money, whatever, it's not the end of the world. You are not going to, and also as well, like don't think that it's important. I did this too, but don't let who you've been so far define who you are right now. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Who you've been in the past doesn't mean that this is who I am right now. This is why I did. This is why I posted that identity. This is why I added the identity thing as part of the how I'm going to make it money in the next 6 months because if people came to find that video of how I'm going to make a million in the next 6 months, the reason I made it was not just to show how I'm doing it, but to show other people that they can do it. And I know that the biggest step that people can take to actually become to actually genuinely make it doesn't even make matter about a million. It can just even $1,000 or $10,000. Just making any money or doing anything with their life. What they have to realize is that they have to let go of who they are right now, or who they think they are right now, in a sense of who they've been in the past. When you let go of that and then you map out who exactly you want to be and you do the work every single day to step into that person who you truly are, who you truly want to be, who you truly think you are, your dream version of yourself. When you step into that person, you act like him, you remind yourself of him. You read, for example, this document. I have it written next to me at all times. Document I talked about on that video is there as well. And that's why I walk
Yeah,
past
I
it.
saw that.
So that's why I have it there. It's not just that I need to remind myself of who I am every single day because if I don't, I'll fall back into who I was before, and that's when the victim mindset will come up, and I'll start feeling sorry for myself and start feeling unhappy. So it's a very important thing, but you need to just completely remove this past self that you've been up until this point. From now on, I'd even say do the process again. Spend half the day or something like spend a few hours doing that process again because it's not a case of just doing it once and then deciding and then okay from there it's like everything's gonna be fine. You're gonna have to constantly do it again and again and again and again until you truly step into that person to where it feels normal now. Like the stuff that I do in this document that I never used to do at all, small things I never used to do, they now feel normal to me. I can't go a day without doing them because it just feels normal for me. It's now because I spent every single day telling myself that I am this person like 15, 20 times a day to where, and then I actually do it as well. I don't just tell myself, I actually do the things because I see that I've written them, so I may as well do them. When I do those things every single day, it becomes my new normal. And when this becomes your new normal, that's when you can genuinely, this person becomes you. Because of these things that you've written become your new normal, this person becomes you. You are this person. You are this new version of yourself. So that's what you need to do from now on. And it doesn't mean that you just so that's the most important thing. So I think this is losing this identity of who you've been in the past, whatever it may be, even up until now, right now, you need to like all of it. Even the stuff that I just talked about, like where like you have this victim way of thinking, this victim way of talking to yourself, so you're unhappy with your life, you're judging yourself for it. You think you're a bit of an idiot for what you've done. All this stuff is part of what you should write in that document and what you're unhappy with yourself with, and then you switch that to how does my dream version of myself think? He never thinks like a victim. He's always proud of himself. He always steps out of the bubble that he's in and looks at the big picture before he takes actions and realizes that he's not actually not that in a bad situation and suffering in reality. He always does this every single day. He journals about it. He meditates every single day. He practices breath work. All these different things that enable him to be in the right state to take action. That's what you need to. That's what you need to really think about when you do this exercise again. So I'd say tomorrow, today, do it again. And those breath works, especially those breath works, really cement it. So if you do those breath works in the exercise, and then also every single day, make it a habit. Like just make it a new normal for you to do breath work every single day. It may be weird, maybe different, maybe thinking what's it actually doing for me. But for me, it's been the one habit that over everything else that has really changed my life. Like
Yeah.
With breathwork, genuinely, like I don't know why. Actually, I know why, but because like it releases chemicals in your brain. But when you do breathwork properly, just follow a guided video. I can send you a couple examples. When you do it properly, especially in the morning, but you can do it any part in the day, it genuinely puts you in a state straight away where you're able to think properly and you're able to let go of all the bullshit, and then you're able to act the way you want to act. So, like what I do, for example, is in the morning I do breath work, then straight away I read that document out loud to myself, and when
Yeah,
I feel like this is who I actually am, like I feel so like I'm decided. This is I'm not going back, and when I do that, not about just once. You do that every single day, and then after I don't know how long it will take, but after some amount of days, it will eventually just become who you are. Makes sense? And it's a never-ending journey, but you still do it. And the more you do it every single day, the more you genuinely step into that person. And then when you become that person, you'll realize there's actually a next level. It's even you
yeah,
can be better. You can do even more like bigger things, and you just become better and better and better and better to where what you're seeing in life is right now. In terms of if I was going to ask you what your dream life is, what your dream situation is in terms of business and money, what that is right now, you become this person you need to be to get that. There's always going to be a next. There's always going to be a better person you can be. There's always going to be a bigger ceiling. That ceiling that you once thought was like your peak of life, then becomes your floor to build off of. That makes sense? So like
definitely. Yeah,
it becomes okay. This is my normal. So what's next? What can I do next? That makes sense? And you can genuinely map out who would I need to be to make $1 million to be a millionaire, and then think about that's the person. You just need to be that person every single day, and it will happen, because that's how manifestation works. Like all this stuff shit about manifestation, all it really is in a deep level is feeling the way you would feel if you had what you wanted, and because of that feeling, there's a formula for life. The your emotions control your feelings, and your feelings control your actions. So when you feel something, you act because of that. In a sense, so if you feel the way you would feel when you already have, for example, the money, or you already have the successful business, you feel that same way. When you act because of those feelings, that's when you are able to actually then do the actions that it takes to then have what you want quicker. So then you get whatever it is you're manifesting. So
yeah,
this is like the next level of manifesting, if that makes sense, because you are telling yourself that you are this person every single day. You're feeling like they are, you act like they are, and you will obviously get whatever they're capable of getting. And then that will just be the next floor to build off of. So when you become that person, you act like that person every single day. You get whatever you thought you were gonna get $1 million, $10 million, whatever it can be. For me now, I know that this person I mapped out here can be a billionaire. This is the version of me that I know is going to be a billionaire. So like for me, this is only 2 years into it, 2 years into it. So imagine for you now, you need to map out the person I need to be to get myself out of the situation and build my first funnel into that makes let's just even say 10K per month, like your first couple of clients. So who do you need to be to make that happen? That then imagine that becomes your floor to build off of. That's just like who you think your peak of the person you can be right now becomes your floor, becomes your like base level of normal. Then you think the same situation as you're in right now, obviously none of the negative side, but the same situation is that okay, I have another goal that I want to hit. Who do I need to become to get that? And you keep doing that again and again, and you'll eventually get to the point that I'm at right now. And in a couple of years' time, you'll realize, okay, like I can genuinely now I understand who I would need to be a billionaire. Let me map that out and let me act like that. And then imagine, obviously, I'm still like imagining it now. Imagine when you know exactly who that is, you act like that person every single day for however long it takes, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and then you become that person. You get whatever that is. You get the billion. You become a billionaire, and then imagine what the next ceiling is. And then imagine, okay, who do I need to be for the next stage, for the next stage of life, for the next goal, whatever you have.
yeah,
This is like this is the journey you need to get started on now. Like you just need to like just map out who do I need to be to get to where I want to be. Map where you want to get to. Map who it is you need to get, who you need to be to get there, and then be that person. Do the way that I talked about, and you just keep doing that. And that's how you get. That's how you keep leveling up in every single aspect, not just with the business, but with every single aspect. That makes sense. And with all this, you just need to catch yourself whenever you fall back into being who you don't want to be, and you do easy things like breath work and things like journaling to catch yourself and bring yourself back to being in that beautiful state, to be who you actually want to be. Okay?
definitely. Do you reckon it's still like even possible? Like, I feel like I get dragged down so much by like the people I work with. I'm definitely in the stage now where like my friends, I do relate to them, but like they're not like the people that I want to be spending the most time with. And I've decided like after August, So I've got like 2 weeks almost. When it comes to August, I'm gonna just go on like a extreme monk mode for like 6 months, and I'm gonna do no alcohol, no going out. Like literally, I'm not gonna do anything apart from gym and work and sat at this desk, just actually working on my own thing. Do you reckon it's still like possible, even like just to get out of like to make money through this growth partner agency within like the next couple months and get out of my current job? Because I work like 4 or 5 days a week, and most of my shifts start between 3 o'clock in the afternoon and 10 o'clock at night. I'm getting home and at like 10:30 at night, and then I'm waking up, but I try and wake up at like 6, 7 o'clock, and for some reason I just can't. Like I don't know whether it's just like myself holding myself back, but like I'm waking up at like 9, 10, and then by the time I've got up, had breakfast, done journaling and meditating, it's like I only have like 2 hours of the day to actually like get work done. And then on the days that I don't have work, which is like 3 out of the 7 days of the week, I just end up wasting the entire day just doing just fuck all pretty much.
I mean, the only reason, I mean, first off, the question is, like, what is it possible to make money? It's who do I need to be to make it possible? It's always possible. It's all I done it. My mentee's done it. Everyone's done it. You can definitely do it. So it's possible. It's the question you need to ask is who do I need to be to make it possible? I mean, so that's what it really is. Okay, so when I say that, the reason your life so far, I mean, not life, but the reason like your days so far have been like this is because you're not being who you want to be. That's all it is. There's no
Yeah,
like, there's no like maybe there is like some slight shit to do with your sleep, but even that in itself, like the fact that you're not sleeping the way you want to sleep and waking up the way you want to wake up, is only just because you've not decided that this is not who I am. That's it. Like, I remember when I first one of the things that I wrote in my document is that so I'm a Muslim, so we have 5 prayers in the day, and the first prayer of the day was at like 2 3 a.m. or some shit, like early in the morning, like 3 a.m. to have to wake up. And yeah, before I wrote this document, I never really woke up, and then obviously when I tried to, I just go back to sleep. I was too tired. But as soon like the day that I made this document, did exercise properly, and I decided that this is who I am from now on. I swear the next morning at 3 a.m. I woke up just out of nowhere, like it was nothing. I didn't feel tired whatsoever. Like and I did the prayer like it was like I'd never done in my life. I did like no reflection towards doing it whatsoever. It wasn't because I set an alarm. There's no alarm. I just woke up. And I truly believe it's because when you decide in your brain that this is what I'm going to do, you genuinely and you're not a victim. You just says because when I mean by victim is somebody who is a victim, it says a lot of stuff, but never takes action on it. So they're not like a man of their word. So
yeah,
one of the things I wrote here as well is that what was it? Yeah, I wrote that something like somewhere like I'm a man of my word. Everything that I say I get done, no matter what, nothing comes in the way. So because I said that to myself, and then I also said that I have one of my habits is that I wake up every single day at that time, even though I've never done it before. The next morning I did it like that. I did it with no friction. That'd be the same thing waking up at 6 a.m. Everybody can wake up at 6 a.m. I mean, the reason you haven't been able to do it yet is because you haven't yet decided for yourself this is who you are. And when you do decide and you remove the suffering mindset, victim mindset, which thinks, "Oh, I'm too tired, oh, this and that," and you wake up genuinely feeling excited to be the person you want to be because you know what that person is capable of having and
yeah,
doing, then that's when nothing comes in the way. So yeah, that's what I'd say when it comes to the problems you're having. But I would say, bro, there's uh, so I don't know how much debt you're in, but let's say for example, it's like a rough number like 2K or 1K or something. Yeah.
yeah. It's around that.
So with your job, let's say you're making like I don't know, like £300, £400 a week or some shit. I don't know how much it is, but I would say to get out of the debt, I would say keep the job part time only to get out of
Yeah,
the debt. It's just going to make things easier for you. There's no point in having the pressure of debt on top of the pressure that you already have to build a business. So keep the job until you're at least out of debt, and even past that. Like some of my mentees, when you have a little bit of cash to invest into having a VA doing things for you, so you can focus on other stuff, it's a lot of help. So I would recommend if you can like be able to get to a point where you have like $300 a month to be able to pay a VA that can take care of a lot of things for you from the get go.
yeah,
It fast tracks the process a lot. So that's why I'd recommend you either get a better job, you stay in that job to a part time only, to just have a bit of cash flow enough to the point where you can have like $300 a month after the debt's finished to invest into after you obviously hopefully you'll be able to I'll let you in when you're ready. After you do that, then you when you have if you can save up through having a part time to have $300 a month roughly to invest in a VA and do more stuff for you and automate things for you, so you can focus on bigger things. That if you can get to that level, then that's very good. That will almost ensure you success, like very quick success. It'd be the same as me, it'd be the same situation in terms of like what you have, in terms of like what you have to succeed. As me, my mentees, like they all have the same thing as me, like in terms of like the same system set up, the same outreach system, the same offers, the same VA. So if you have that, it'll be the same chance of success that I had. So that's why I say you get yourself to that level where also as well, like I know you mentioned before, like maybe it's the people you're around, maybe it's your like your coworkers or whatever, your friends. It's also important to remember, as a real man, as a real leader, the person that I know you know you are deep down, nothing external should affect your internal state. Okay, so
Yeah,
that's another
definitely.
quote, but it's like another quote, right? So nothing external. And that means also, most importantly, nobody, no person, no matter what they say, how they act, how they feel, what they say to you, what they project on you, no matter what anything external, whatever happens externally, outside of what happens inside of you, should actually have an effect on the way that you are. That makes sense. So you should be the person you want to be so much and be so happy as that person that you are actually a positive effect on everyone around you.
Yeah,
That's what it should be. So nobody should actually be an effect on you. You should be the effects on everybody else. You should be the positive effects on everybody else. No matter how much they complain, no matter how much they don't see themselves going anywhere in life, you should be the reason they actually start to feel inspired. That's the way you should be. That's the man I know that you think you are. So that's what needs to happen. So nobody should have an effect. Your mom, your parent, whoever else. Now, nobody should have an effect. Your friends. You should be the one in your friend group, in wherever you work with your mom. They should see you as like, wow, this you're really different. Like you almost inspire me. And a lot of them won't want to say it, but they'll feel it and you'll see it in the way they talk to you. It's been the same experience I've had. So that's the way you should be. So when it comes to environment, the people you're around, don't think that actually should make an effect. It's a mistake people make, like a lot of like gurus and stuff always chat this shit about like you need to let go of your friends, and like, you can let go of your friends if you want to, but that is not the reason as to why you are the way you are. That's not the reason at all.
yeah,
You do have full control over the way that you are, and you, if you truly actually want to be a leader, you should be the reason as to why your friends are actually maybe actually starting to think, maybe yeah, he's kind of inspiring me. I'm fuck me, I should do something in my life. I mean, that should be the
yeah,
way.
definitely.
So definitely stop the drinking, no drinking whatsoever. Don't waste time doing anything. But don't see it as like a negative. Don't see it as you're like sacrificing, because you're not sacrificing anything. You're not like it's all you're doing. Well, it's actually, because this is actually one of the reasons I'm at home. So I'm actually in Scotland right now. So I came back from Bali to Scotland to build what I just showed you, and also some other stuff too.
Yeah,
The reason is that I knew that I needed to like I needed full focus to do all this. I can't have any distractions. I can't have people in my life that are like pulling me away and like influencing me to do other things I don't really want to do right now. I knew that all I wanted to do was build what I'm building here and build some other stuff too, and make some videos for YouTube. I was like, if I knew that's exactly what I want to do right now, then all that matters to me right now is doing it. So let me just put myself in an environment that I can do it in. People can call this, monk mode or being locked in or sacrificing a lot to get this all done. But I see it as like setting myself free. I'm
yeah,
free.
definitely.
I'm free to live whatever life I want to live right now. Like I can do what the fuck I want. Obviously I choose to sit down and even calling it work isn't really true because I'm not really working. I'm creating what I want to create in the world. It's creating, it's creation. It's not work. So even me coming back here, same way you want to be locked in, you want to be like just full focus. That's not, don't see it as a sacrifice, because the more you see it as a sacrifice and you see it as like, I'm locked in, I'm in monk mode, I have to let go of some things, like whatever else, the more you're being a victim.
Yeah, definitely.
If you take the powerful perspective, which is I am choosing to focus on just what I want, just what I know I'm meant to create in this world, what I'm meant to create myself to be, that is the most happiest I'll ever be in life. Like, I swear to God, I've never been happier in my life than being at home right now, living my life the way I want to live it, and truly knowing that I'm creating what I want to create in the world, and even just going out for a walk. I've never enjoyed trees and nature so much because I just genuinely feel so happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Even
definitely.
for a walk, I've never felt, yeah, even driving Ferraris through Europe, I didn't feel as happy as I feel going for a walk after I get a full day of getting work done here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's the most important thing to remember too. Don't see it, that's also a symptom of victim mindset, is when you say, like, I'm in monk mode, I'm sacrificing, I'm locked in, I need to let go of my friends, I need to not go out and party, or like, it's going to be hard, but let's see how it goes. All that bullshit and perspective is out. You are choosing, you are taking the opportunity to become the person you want to be and create what you want to create in the world. And that's nothing but positive. There's no negativity around that whatsoever. Make sense? So always,
Definitely.
so yeah, that's what I'd say. I'm not sure to answer your question, but yeah, don't quit the job. If you can find a better one that pays you a bit better, then that's good. So don't quit the job until you at least out of the debt and at least have at least I'd say like if you get save up like 1-2 grand, that's pretty solid. So if you save up 1-2 grand, that's good. I'd obviously say to you never go to university. So don't let that if it's you that makes the decision and you have the and but I'd say you probably do have the decision there because your mom probably won't like hate you if you don't. So
Yeah, I do.
make that decision and do not go to university and realize that if you do what I'm talking about here and become the person you want to be and be that person every single day for the next 2 months, even while still having the job, you'll be in a situation where you've truly set yourself up to get started with the growth partner agency as soon as you're ready to join. Even before that, you'll get started with the stuff. I'll make sure you get started. And when you join, you'll get really going. And then as well, you'll have like maybe like, I don't know 1-2K saved up, however much you save up from the job, and you'll be in a perfect position. I literally mean perfect to have quick success, really quick success, the same way I had it. It'll be no difference to it. Actually, you'll have a much more bigger advantage to the advantage that I had. Like you'll have much more knowledge than I have than I had when I first started out, and you saw how it went for me. Same with the couple of guys that I just told you about that I mentor. So yeah, you'll be in a perfect position. So don't see this situation that you're in life right now as anything negative whatsoever. You're actually in a very good spot in life. By you can think when you're 20,
I'm 20 in 20th of November.
yeah, but by the time you're 20, you could literally be like, yeah, I know I'm not gonna promise it, but you could literally be like on like 5-10K a month. That's in that position. And that's not like I hope you see it now. Like it's not actually a complex like thing to get to. It's not like
Yeah.
a far it's not far fetched in the situation you're in right now. Like I just told you, like you spend the next 1 month, however long it takes, 1 month, 2 months, focusing on what I just told you about, really stepping into the person you want to be, like doing everything you're doing already, but then upping it to another level, and not just with the work, but also with how you're living your life. So you just remove this whole chance of you being in a rut and all this, the way you've been feeling recently. That is now part of the past. So you really step into that. So you're primed yourself up to whenever you start the business properly, you're gonna smash straight away. You save up the money for the next 1-2 months. So you have 1-2K saved up, so you can able to invest in a VA to automate things for you, which makes it really fast in terms of the growth of the agency. And then when you're ready to join, you join. I'll let you in, and you have access to everything you need. And then within 1-2 months, the same as everybody else is part of them. And the guys I just showed you, the guys I told you about, you'll have the. I'm sure you'll have the same success that they've had. There's no reasons why you can't. So yeah, that is 2 clients away from being at 10K a month, if not
Yeah.
5K mad anyway. So at least let's say 5K a month. Being at 5K a month by the time you turn 20 is pretty. So that's not a far fetched thing at all. It's very, very I'd say easy, but I don't sound condescending, but that's easy to get to for you, I'd say. Make sense?
Sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, bro. Feel excited, man, because this is what you need to feel, man. You can't stay in this like like kind of I don't know what to call it, so this like doubtful, unhappy mindset. That's not gonna get you anywhere. You need to feel this excitement every single day you wake up. And if you don't feel it, you go back into doing whatever that makes you feel like that. You do breath work, you tell yourself how good you tell yourself how much you love yourself. Even for me, looking at myself in the mirror and telling myself who I know I am and like how much I love myself. It does for me. So do that as well. Actually, it's probably something that you haven't done before. I don't know if you haven't done it before, but if you haven't done it before, do it every single day. Like just when you wake up, just go spend like 5 minutes in the mirror. Just like look at yourself in the eyes and just tell yourself who you really know you are, and that fires you up like nothing else, man. So yeah, if you do these things every day, bro, there's no chance for you falling back into the way you've been. Just catch yourself every single time you see yourself falling back, because it will happen. You have to recondition yourself to be who you want to be. But if you catch yourself every single time and you keep accountable with yourself, you don't just let yourself fall back into the victim mindset and just like feel sorry for yourself for a few days again or a few weeks again. Then I promise, like if you do this all properly, by the time you turn 20, you'll 100% have at least be on the precipice of massive success, or you'll already have on the path of massive success already by like at least batting him up.
Nice. That's sick. Thank you so much.
Exactly. So yeah, bro. Anything else that's come up for you? Any thoughts, any questions?
No, I don't think so. Just gonna rewatch this all back, process it all again, and then just start getting to work.
Amazing, bro. Sounds good. All right, man. I'm excited for you.
Thank
Just
you.
keep in touch on Instagram. I'll send you this recording anyway on Instagram and the processes. And then yeah, we'll keep in touch and make sure just keep that in mind, bro. You're not going back to the way you've been. This is it. that you've let go of it. You decided this is who you are. Your life is going to go in a way where by the time you turn 20 in November, you will either be on the literal precipice of being on 15K a month, or you will be on 15K a month.
Nice.
Right? I'm good. I'm excited, man.
Thank you.
Good? You feel good?
Yeah, I'm real.
So guys, I hope you found that really, really valuable. I hope you took notes, go through it again and again, because what I went through there is the secret. It really is the real sauce that I use to change my life. And I'm sure that this guy will change his life from now onwards, and you can do the exact same. So do not waste what you went through in here. This is the real stuff that will actually make the big change you want to make. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment down below on what you thought, what questions you have from what I talked about, and also, did it relate to you? I'd love to hear more. And of course, just like this guy did, I encourage all of you to go ahead and DM me on Instagram. Any questions you have about anything, I'm more than happy to help out if I see your message, and get back to you and help where I can. So guys, much love. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.